Hello, everybody.
Oh my God. Hello.
So we are using
Yep.
Riverside,
Mhm.
our lovely platform
Mhm.
that we got because we were separate states all the
Mhm.
time. And now it has the capability of doing more than one microphone and in-person interviews. We'll call it interviews, recordings. And this is the first time we have actually used all the crazy equipment that we bought
Uh-huh.
2 years ago.
Uh-huh. Two.
I was so excited that we had all the pieces that the
Well,
YouTube video said that we should have.
we had them. We thought we had them.
Well, we
And
were
then we
missing some
looked.
cords,
We're
but
missing some stuff. But she's telling you this because we're recording next to each other.
OMG.
Like I'm touching my sister right now.
I just touched her arm.
I just touched her.
God.
So I'm curious how this dynamic will go because I'm used to looking at your face on a camera.
I know.
And not in person.
And now you have to look at me.
I know, it's weird.
OMG.
So weird. It's also Tuesday morning, so I can't drink.
Just coffee.
Yep.
I'm so excited to go to Sephora, which is inside Kohl's with you, because I'm going to walk over to the luggage department and I'm going to get a teeny tiny carry-on that will fit, like the hard side one that will fit all the podcasting equipment in it.
Oh.
And that's going to be its home forever and ever.
Okay. Because we're going to record again. My sister wants to record while we're in Vegas.
For what?
CrimeCon 2026.
That's right, bitches.
Uh-huh. I'm in searching for some stuff that I'm going to bring for some of our special shows that we're seeing.
I have to tell you, I'm very excited about CrimeCon, and I
think we both are.
I've always thought that it was a cool thing and whatever, but I heard one of my favorite podcasts say something about,
Which podcast?
True Crime Obsessed, and they said something about CrimeCon, and they went, boo. And now I'm afraid to because I don't want to ruin it, but I'm like, what did CrimeCon do that deserved a boo?
No.
I don't want to know.
I do. I 100% do. My goodness.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Anyway. So, we saved a story that we had to re-record.
Once or twice now? This is the third time, right?
I feel like this is the third time. And it's been so long now, I can't remember. I think it was back when we weren't sure about the USB situation and picking the right microphones and that sort of thing. And it just was like my sister was not happy about it. And if she says that she has to turn it off because she can't even hear the rest of the story, then I have to assume that other people would have the same issue.
So I do listen to them when they're kind of like raw. And then my sister will say, just wait until I do some kind of AI thing. And then I'll be like, okay, it's a little bit better. But this one was really hard.
It still wasn't.
But that was user error on my part that we figured out the hard way.
So we had to give it a little time. We kept the story on the side and we have it ready to go. And I feel like my big issue about re-recording it was that if we do it right away, we lose a lot of the spontaneity and the reactions that occur when you do that. And then I was like, we were talking about what are we going to record while we're in person this week? And I was like, I think it's been long enough that we could do that story because it feels like it was so long ago that we could do it and kind of get those spontaneous reactions back again.
Well, also we watched it in person together yesterday.
We refreshed our memories.
Which was fun to watch things with you again. That's how this whole thing started.
Yes.
Because I just wanted to go to your house
and
once a week and watch true crime with you.
Yeah.
That's literally, I was like, I just want to spend some time with my sister watching what I love to watch that keeps me up at night and makes me stressful and anxiety filled.
I agree.
Okay.
And we both agree we fucking hate this guy.
I literally hate this guy.
I told you this yesterday.
Ick.
He has a very punchable face.
It was so funny.
I just want to punch him right in the face. Oh!
But so quickly, this is so funny. Right off the top, I had a super old news update we recorded an episode, like, when we originally recorded this one that I had an update on for one that we
Oh,
recorded prior to.
okay.
I wanna say it was, like, the first dozen, and
Oh,
I had
that was
sourced
a long time ago, guys.
a website. I'm like, "Oh, I found this great website, and I'm gonna use it all the time," and then I was just like, "Boom, done," and I never provided it, so if those of you are like, "This podcast sucks because she just left us hanging," it was FBI.gov, and there is a page, Serial Murder Pathways for Investigations. So it's the website that has downloadable documents that help police officers understand the motivations and behaviors of offenders. So I use this as like my research kind of like lookup.
Hmm.
So it's not like it's new for every case. It's just there when I need to find some information. Um, so uh, so that's I just wanted to mention that. So for those of you who might have listened to that a long time ago, that's why.
And now I can't, because I feel like you've told me about this so many times. Now I
Mhm.
can't remember if we did mention it on other ones or if this was where we mentioned it and we never talked about, we didn't release. I,
Doesn't matter. We're here now.
we did it.
We're here
We
now.
did it now.
We're here now.
Anyway.
Okay. All
So
right.
this week's story, y'all,
Mm.
the case for this week
Mhm.
is Kristil Krug, the murder and stalking. Well,
Mhm.
stalking and murder of
Mhm.
Kristil Krug. My sources were primarily an NBC, was it Dateline,
Yes.
ABC 2020,
Yes, The Phantom.
and yes, The Phantom. And
Mhm.
then I listened to just the Thought Lounge podcast. They had an episode on it. And then I also use legacy.com.
So I used 48 Hours Investigate season 38, episode 11. And then there was an ABC article by Doc Lou Allen published in September 20. And we're back to being Lisa.
And there it is.
So,
Okay.
all right.
This is so old. I don't even have purple or green.
So I was just going to say, we're going off different docs here, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about the Colorado stalking law before you get started on this story.
Okay.
Colorado's stalking law, also known as Vonnie's law, um, was put into play. What's that word called when they signed?
Practice? Put into practice?
May 11th, 2012, which prohibits repeated conduct that causes serious emotional distress to another person, including following, contacting, or placing them under surveillance.
Mm,
This can include a pattern of communication, and it is a felony that can be a class 5 for first offense, escalating to class 4 felony for subsequent offenses.
mm,
Penalties can include prison time, fines, and the court can also issue a mandatory protection order. This was a revision to an already in place stalking law. So, stalking laws are relatively new. And I say that like they were put into place in the 1990s.
mhm.
California was the first state to pass a stalking law. So, prior to 1990, and I know for the young folks listening, they're like, that's not recent, that's old. For
Mm,
me, I look at laws like something that would have been by our forefathers.
yeah, but this was our
But
lifetime.
this is our lifetime. So before 1990, you could just there was nothing to protect
No.
women from a man who repeatedly did anything to them.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to mention that
I feel like
they're still not great.
no, they're still, and they're very different from state to
Yeah.
state, which is
Mhm.
very frustrating. Like, what
Mhm.
if your stalker lives in one state, you live in another state?
Well,
You're close enough to travel, and he's or she is close enough to be an issue, but then you have to account for both state laws.
so there is some of that in this because her in they originally thought her
Mm,
stalker was in
in
another state.
another
All
state.
right, let's get started.
I feel like the stalking laws started when I forget in the 80s the name of the actress that was stabbed, but
My
she
sister
lived.
Are you talking about My Sister Sam?
No,
She was shot.
Rebecca Schaefer
Yes, yes,
died,
yes.
but there was another woman before that in the 80s, and I can't remember her name now, who was stabbed in front of people, and nobody intervened or tried to
Mm,
help her, but Teresa Saldana, she actually
that recall.
survived.
Was that a Lifetime movie?
Probably so.
I think I saw it.
But I
With,
feel
like,
like
JoBeth
maybe
from Facts of Life?
she had, like, really long hair, curly
I don't
hair,
I'll
the
have to
the
look. I
actual
remember
person.
seeing a fucking Lifetime movie
But
where people just
those
stood around and watched this
yes,
woman being attacked.
stabbed, yes.
Okay.
So I feel like those incidents happened sometime in the '80s close enough and got so much attention that then these laws in the '90s, that time frame makes sense to me.
Okay.
So, Kristil Krug was born on November 24th, 1980. She was a Thanksgiving baby.
Mhm.
She was a passionate dancer and active with the performing arts, but also a science lover.
Lover.
And
Lover.
Lisa says, girls in
Girls in STEM.
STEM. Beyond her professional accomplishments, Christine was known for her kindness, generosity, and infectious laughter. She had the innate ability to inspire those around her. Her warm spirit created a sense of camaraderie wherever she went. Christine met, as we know, her first serious boyfriend, Anthony Holland, in the late 1990s when they were both,
Excuse me.
bless you,
Thank you.
when they were both working at J.C. Penney while in high school. I
Mhm.
worked at J.C. Penney.
She sure did.
You worked at the arch
Carson
enemy.
Carson Pier Scott, mine was better.
Mm,
We had designer brands.
I think hers was better.
Just
Anyway,
saying. Mhm.
um, while they shared a first love connection, Christine could tell they were on different paths. The breakup happened from Anthony's accounts. It was hard breakup for both of them, but they did go their separate
Yeah,
ways.
because she was the one that got away. She was about to be a smarty pants,
Yeah.
making the bank.
So, it sounds like he had no direction or plan, and she was like, "I don't got time for that
No,
shit."
she did not have time for that kinda fucking shit.
She's like, "I have a plan and it's
Mhm.
happening." Christine was awarded an academic scholarship to the prestigious Colorado School of Mines, where she initially pursued her passion for biochemical engineering.
Mm,
I know, I love
mm.
it. Later, she transferred to the University of Colorado in Boulder, where she continued to excel, graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemical engineering.
Mhm.
OMG.
Mhm.
Mm. Do you want to go next?
Yeah, Kristil met her husband, and they were married in 2007. So she would have been 27 years old at this time.
Mm.
They had 3 children. She joined Agilient Technologies.
Mm.
Agilient?
Looks like it.
Sure. Where her technical abilities and dedication to her work made her an invaluable member of the team. So this is where the story gets a little dark.
Mm.
On October 31st, Halloween of 2023, Christine reported to police that she had received text messages that went from advances to threatening.
Yeesh.
So she kept a detailed log of everything. Her stalker log was what she called it, that she brought with her to the police.
Mhm.
Um, They even in the interviews, they even say they were really impressed. She had kept logs of the times, the texts, what was said, how she felt at the time,
Mm.
and, like, so that she's documenting what was taking place and the events that were around her at that time.
I was very like, this is the type A kind of personality of an engineer.
Just do that to me.
I did. I did. I can hear the puff
Okay.
when you make the peas and whatever.
She doesn't like it when I pop my peas.
So I feel like when I was watching her, because we actually have the interview room videos on some of these documentary and
Mhm,
episodes of Christine alive telling the police about all her things, and she's got all her spreadsheets and
mhm,
things, and I'm like, she was meant to be an engineer.
mhm.
She would have made a great nurse. Like, all the little things that are, like, so OCD type A, I was like, "Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of it. Loving it."
So, some of the text messages that she received were threatening to her husband as well.
Yeah.
And we have the knowledge of hindsight
Mm.
because when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, no."
Mhm.
And now, spoiler alert, I know,
Mm.
and it's just I look at it at a different perspective. So, in the interview, she states that this is exhausting. It has made me paranoid everywhere I go.
Mhm.
So, even though she's composed and confident and logging, she's losing it. She's
Yeah.
essentially losing it.
Her husband was also interviewed and kind of portrayed a very different
Mhm.
demeanor. When we were watching the interviews with Kristil, she looks clear-headed, confident, determined, like, she kind of held it all on the inside.
Mhm. So this was what I saw. This wasn't what was
Yeah,
reported.
yeah, yeah.
This is something where I'm like, I see that for me, for her, for a woman to woman.
And then you see her husband, and he's, like,
Mhm.
crying, "I can't protect my wife, I'm so
Mhm.
worried." And I was like, I felt let down. Like, I don't
So
like, I feel like I'm not the person who needs, like, a strong man, but if my husband was acting like a drip like that, I would have been like, "Dude, get the fuck out of here, I could do it myself better.
so
I don't
even
need the"
yeah,
like, he's holding her back somehow.
even the police said that they
Blech.
thought Christine was better equipped to handle her protecting herself than her husband was.
Mhm,
They were more worried about him, and they said it in the interview, "We're really worried about her husband." He said, quote, "I'm doing a shit job of protecting my wife,"
mm,
unquote, whilst crying.
interesting.
So, the first time I watched it, though, let me just tell you, I was like, "Oh, no." Like, I believed it because I
Mhm.
didn't know the story.
I wonder you have to be a policeman, right? But and we'll have to ask a cop someday, like, when you see that interaction and you don't know the story yet, you don't know that who the perpetrator really is, right? Like, there's no hindsight.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm missing the bullshit meter, and I want it so bad.
So
So bad.
I think cops automatically go to the percentages.
Okay.
Maybe that's how they sit in an interview and they're like, "All right, what do we always know?"
It's
Well, but at this
usually
point, it
someone
was just
close to them.
stalking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was just stalking at this point. So maybe the
Interesting.
police were like, "Let's see where this goes." Okay.
So, Christine had an idea of who was behind this, as the name of the person on the messages was Anthony, and there was only one Anthony in her life. Police started looking into this, but there wasn't much to go on. They got subpoenas for Google, Verizon records to find out where the messages were coming from,
Mhm.
but things because there was no crime, no injury, no violence yet, were very slow going, and they were just waiting, waiting, waiting. And it seems like the first request might have even, like, literally just sat in an in basket unanswered.
I have issues with this later.
I agree.
So we've got Christine keeping her logs. And then she did what she could to keep her family safe. She got
Mhm,
cameras for the house.
mhm.
She got a car camera that had for when she's
Like a
driving.
dash cam.
Her father provided her with a gun.
Yeah.
She went to the range with her mom where she was reportedly said to be that it was getting to her. Her mom was like, "This was starting to get to her. I noticed that my daughter was like having a really hard time with it."
I can't even fathom getting to the point where I felt the need to carry a pistol with me wherever I went.
So also, this for me seems like it escalated
I
fast.
feel like I thought that this happened over the course of many years, and this was, like,
Months.
months.
So
0 to
yes.
100.
So now we're on December 14th, 2023. There are cameras around the house that show Dan, her husband, taking one of the kids to school and then coming back. Then there's another camera outside the garage that shows Christine taking the other kids to school and then coming back.
Mhm,
The next shot is of Dan leaving for work, and he gets a message from Christine to him after he left saying, "I forgot my lunch on the counter. Can you put it back in the fridge?" This was the last communication from Christine.
mhm,
So at this point, Dan is saying that he's trying to text her and call her, and he places a wellness check to the police stating, "I don't think this is an emergency, but I can't get a hold of my wife. Can you go check?"
mhm,
So he also calls her mother. Can we talk about that for a minute?
mhm.
Okay. So
I think
go.
initially knowing a little bit about this story, I was like, "Why would he call other people to go check on her?" I don't think I knew about the stalking part or that it had escalated so much.
Mhm.
Now knowing what I know why he called other people to go there.
So he calls the police, he calls the parents, but he never just went home.
No.
So he knew that she was being stalked.
Mhm.
He knew that he allegedly had been threatened,
Mhm.
but his thought was not to go home and check himself
Mhm.
because we don't wanna do that, and I also didn't know how far he worked from their house, but I do know that the mother and the sister were a 15-minute drive.
'Kay.
Okay.
We'd have to look up, like, what
Yeah,
his commute looked like.
yeah.
So, the police arrive, walk around the house, they ring the doorbell. They don't see anything amiss. I saw now this is probably the 4th or 5th time that I've watched something.
Mhm,
I saw the tape on the Ring doorbell from the body cam
mhm,
on the police officer.
mhm.
Why he didn't notice it, I don't know.
Well,
Like,
wasn't
they
he
noticed it later and they mention
right,
it, but I
right,
was like, "Oh, it's right there." But he was looking in the windows, he
right,
wasn't looking at the cameras.
correct.
So the policeman gets there. He is looking through all the windows. Nobody's
Mhm.
answering, the whole 9 yards. I don't know if he knew that her car was there or not, but the garage door had these like little windows at the very top along the top of the garage.
I want one of those.
So if you're standing outside the garage, the average person, you can't see in. It was more decorative, but he pulls his police car up to the garage door and
Mhm,
stands on the
mhm,
bumper to
mhm.
look in the garage, and he sees Kristil or someone laying on the floor of the garage.
Right. So he goes to the front door, right?
Did he go through yeah,
Oh,
like
he broke that
he
fucking
busted it
he
open.
took
That's
his
right,
foot
because we were
and
talking
he
about how easy
smashed
it
through
was
the oh,
to bust it open.
it's like he's been doing it his whole life. It's like he got an A plus in breaking door
There
down
it is.
police efforts 101.
Love it.
So, unfortunately, what happens at the same time that he's doing CPR and calls for backup is that her mom walks up,
Like, literally
like
walks under the
the
garage
garage
that's, like,
door.
half open, and he's doing CPR, and he's like, "You gotta get out of here."
I am beyond sorry for what she had to witness. Um, Unfortunately, Kristil is pronounced dead at the scene and the area is roped off. So now her family is there. They're all crying. Her husband arrives and just sees them and completely breaks down.
Laying on the ground,
Mhm.
crying, shaking.
Mhm.
He, like, ran up to the family, "That's my house, that's my house."
So again, first impressions, first time watching it, not
Yeah,
knowing everything, this is how I expect someone to
I
act.
agree.
Okay, this is what we're always saying. He didn't act like somebody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Her gun was found in her purse, and we know that she was trained to use it.
She had a really cool leather purse that had that compartment that just, like, Velcros shut, so you can just pull it open and grab your pistol. Like,
Mhm.
it's a concealed carry purse. Never even left the purse.
Her family is in an interview and they say the fact that she thought this would happen and he actually got to her was something they couldn't wrap their minds
Because
around.
she was ready.
She was ready. She thought this was going to happen.
Mhm.
So, and we got to remember, this is just a stalker at this point.
Yep.
I read on the FBI that most stalking cases that escalate to murder are from a spouse who was abusive during the relationship.
Interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it, sis?
That's interesting.
They hadn't even confirmed who the stalker was at this point.
Great,
Okay.
great.
Okay. I'm rage typing at this point. I know there were a lot of spelling errors because the story was starting to get to me.
Yeah.
The police elevate the warrants. Okay.
Because now somebody's dead.
Now somebody's dead. And I have a real big issue with this. The police reached out for a second time to Google and Verizon for the information they needed.
Mhm.
Sis, you can say it at this point. Do you know how long it was before they got that information back?
Hours.
Hours. Hours.
But someone had to die for it.
Somebody had to die for it.
I don't understand. I mean, maybe police work and that sort of thing isn't
Trying
like
to
I'm a
judge.
nurse person, right? So when I think about the bad things that happen to people, we're always thinking about how can we prevent it? It's
Mhm.
preventative. It's preventative medicine. We're going to give you the advice. We're going to do all the things, right?
Mhm.
Do police just react? Is there no prevention? I don't know what the basis of their
I don't
profession is. Anyway,
I don't know.
okay. off they go to get the ex-boyfriend, Anthony, who they believe at this point in time was the one stalking her. And the most recent addresses that they have are both 500 miles away. So they don't know how he's stalking her from so far away, but they have to start with what they know. So they go there. They probably didn't think he was there
Right, he
because she
shouldn't have
was
been.
dead.
He shouldn't have been there. If it was
Yeah.
him, he shouldn't have been there.
They're both 8 hours drive away.
The addresses that
the
they had.
addresses where they think that he last lived.
Mhm.
They get a hit on the license plate in north central Utah. They
Mhm.
send the local police, and Anthony's there.
He's there.
He's right there. He answers the door.
They knock.
What's up, brah?
And he says, "What's up?" Not just "What's up, bruh?" But "Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in."
How can I help you?
He shouldn't have been home at this point.
It's nuts.
Okay.
So the police interview him, and he tells them, yeah, I knew a Kristil. We dated in 1999. Things went bad. She went to college. We broke up. He has an alibi.
A what?
An alibi?
What's that now you say?
He had reached
Yeah.
he had reached out to her, and they were friends on Facebook, but after a couple of messages, she had blocked him in 2016. She was married with children.
Denied.
He did say he hadn't had any contact with her since then, and he'd never heard of Dan. So this is not adding up like, wait a minute, quick. And they didn't even tell him that Kristil was dead.
Yes.
They didn't tell him why they were inquiring.
The police scene was pretty interesting because one was out there at his car. One had gone to the house. The other one met him at the house. They were talking to him at the front door. The one guy goes back to the police car to like tell them, hey, he's here. He turns around and they're all inside talking.
It's so weird.
Not the behavior, ladies and gentlemen, of someone who was just murdering someone states away.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He appears as bewildered as any one of us would have been if someone had come to my door and I'm, 50 years old and they're like, hey, did you know a person who's a high school boyfriend? Not Rick. Dan Holland.
Okay.
Did you know Dan Holland or whatever? Do you remember Donnie? Don Holland.
What the heck? I don't know. That was it yours or mine?
Mine.
Okay.
Don Holland.
Sure.
I only mention this because years after high school,
okay,
he was like, hey, what's up? And it had been like 30 years since I saw him.
Okay.
So Don Holland, did you know someone named Don? And I'd have to think about it, be like, fuck yeah, I did.
Fuck yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
How's he doing?
What's that fucking guy up to? What's going on? Yeah. That's how I would have been.
You know what's unfortunate?
In, bro.
Most of the guys that I dated in high school, if a cop came to my door and I'll be like, oh God, what did he do? That's what I would say.
That wouldn't have been my first thought.
Jesus, what did he get into now?
What the fuck?
I could pick him.
So they didn't tell him Kristil was dead. They didn't have any evidence that he was the murderer or even the stalker at this point, except for they said the person's name was Anthony in some message.
Well, I don't know if we mention it later in the story, but I do want to mention it in case we don't. He even says they should have come and talked to me immediately. Because they could have found out then, and the police officer's like, we didn't have enough evidence. But I'm like, do you need evidence just to talk to someone?
So here's my thought. Like when we were watching the thing last night and the police officer was saying,
I gotta blow my nose. Hang on. You keep talking.
The police officer was saying something about that he didn't want to call him too soon. And at the time that he's saying it, like, I think the first time I watched it, it didn't put it together for me. But I wonder if the reason that they didn't even go talk to him was because they didn't want to tip their hand in case he was the guilty party.
Yeah.
So that was the impression that I got, was more like, we didn't want to say anything because if he was the guilty party, we didn't want
to make it worse.
Or let him know that they knew who he was. They wanted to catch him doing something. If he was the guilty party and he knew that they were watching him, would he alter things and then they wouldn't be able to catch him?
Heard. Got it. I'm there now.
That's my thought.
Okay.
I don't know if that was truly what happened.
Okay. Her family was interviewed at the police station.
Yeah.
They were separated and given their accounts of what they knew.
Yeah.
Initially, her sister Jenna thought more could have been done, so she was pretty like, "You guys could have done more than this."
I would be too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Her mother stated that she had tried calling her, didn't get a response. Then, um, we get to the husband, Dan. So
Mm,
he's in a separate room.
mm.
Now he's crying and he's saying, "I was supposed to protect her." It's easy to be judgmental because we know how this turned out, but his answers were very, like, forced.
Mhm.
It was like he was like, "I was supposed to be there." Like
It's weird.
weird. Um, I don't like it.
I feel like he's a really bad actor and he's trying to act the way that he thinks he should act, but he doesn't have enough training to pull it off.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
So at this point, the companies had gotten back to them as they were interviewing
The phone
the phone
companies.
company, sorry. So this is that night.
Yeah.
Okay, guys,
It's so fast, you guys.
it was that night. And they got this information back. They had already talked to Anthony, so
Mhm.
they knew that he had an alibi.
Yeah.
They tell Dan, "Hey, by the way, Anthony has an alibi."
He couldn't have done this.
And he says, "Well, then I just have nothing.
Well, I have nothing.
Then I just have nothing.
I just have nothing.
He's icky."
Really? I mean, like, I can't he reminds me
Mhm.
of okay, Ghostbusters,
There.
Slimer
Got
the
it.
ghost,
Mm,
and when he goes down the hallway, there's slime dripping down the side of the wall.
I'm there.
That's Dan.
I'm there.
He reminds
A
me of
booger.
a booger sliding
Mhm.
down the wall.
Ew.
Yeah. Anyway,
So, if they had gotten this at the beginning,
yeah,
they would have had a lot
they
more
would have known.
information.
They would have known.
And this is where, at this point in the story, I have to say, because now I've seen the rest of the episode,
Mhm.
I was very sad.
I
Okay.
feel like it could have been I feel like it could have been prevented.
Why couldn't this be urgent before?
I know.
They had it within an hour. They
An
had that data
hour.
back.
An hour.
So, what we know from this data is that the stalker was using a Wi Fi at Dan Krug's office.
Mhm.
Now they are looking at the interviews in a whole different way.
Mhm.
So, Dan is still there, and the data is that they know that Anthony's not the killer. They also know that the information was from his
Building.
building.
Mhm.
And he says, "Well, it's a public Wi-Fi and anyone could go in that office and use the password. It's posted everywhere."
Mm.
And he's terrified to take his children home.
Mhm.
Ill,
Ew.
ill.
The change in his demeanor
Mm,
is a little crazy, like, when
mhm,
they tell him Anthony wasn't the person.
mhm,
He sits back,
mhm.
he pulls his knees in,
Pulls him in,
he crosses his
crosses those
arms
arms.
like he's getting ready to
Mhm,
defend himself somehow,
mhm.
because he has to now defend himself, literally.
And what does he say, sis?
He does the eye roll,
Eye
the
roll.
drip
He
eye roll.
rolls his
Well,
eyes.
it has to be the husband then, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. He
And I'm
says,
like, "This
"Is
motherfucker."
this the point on your checklist or whatever that I ask for an attorney?"
Oh my
I
god.
mean, who the fuck, like, who "Oh, it has to be the husband," he says.
Unbelievable.
Ew, again.
Mm.
But what's interesting in all of this is that at this point, his grieving is gone.
Yep.
So the crying, hysterical man that was all over the floor and crying and terrified is gone. And what replaces him is an annoyed, arrogant person who is being inconvenienced.
He did look very,
Uh,
like, yeah, he did arrogant is a good way. Is a good
he
way.
he looks like think about this. The day of, the morning of, he was on the floor crying on his knees outside of his house. He has to tell his children their mom is gone. He's not crying at all in
Mm,
the interviews anymore. Now that they've said this, he's just it's like the tear well dried up
mhm.
and the mourning is gone. He's now over his
I
wife.
realize I wasn't actually standing in front of this man, but I feel like he never had tears. I feel like it was always, like, wailing and this and that, but I don't remember him, like, ever wiping his eyes or things like that. I don't know.
I don't know the difference between all of the characteristics of the psychopath and the sociopath and all that things, but I feel like I know that sometimes the murderers that get caught can cry because they're sad for themselves.
That
So
makes sense.
it's like I can't fake the emotion, but I'm truly upset that I got caught. So
Mhm.
now I'm upset
Yeah.
that you got me.
So they do the forensics, they collect his clothes, they give him different clothes to wear, they collect his wallet and things like that. They swab his mouth, like all that crap. And there's a potentially stalker and murderer, and now they might be the same, they might not be the
Mhm.
same.
Well, right, because you had a stalker, you had a murderer, but they have to figure out if these are one and the same.
Mhm.
So he's in the hallway,
Yeah.
they're still recording.
Yeah.
His parting words, again, they're spoken in that very soft whisper, find who fucking did
Like
this.
just bad acting. Like
Bad,
it's not
really, really,
sincere at
really bad.
all. It's yeah.
I don't care if you arrest him. I don't care if you kill him. Just find him. I'm sorry. So you don't care if you arrest him?
Is this some
You
kind of
don't.
like
So
is
what?
this some kind of movie?
What are
Like
you doing?
is he trying to be Liam Neeson?
Who? Wait. What? You don't care if we arrest him? So what? Then what? Then
I don't know.
like, what are you doing?
It's so weird.
Then he goes to join Kristil's family.
Mm.
So off he goes. Now it's time to talk to the family, who had not been told that the evidence pointed to him as the stalker. We don't know murder, but we know stalker.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Jenna is comforting him
Ugh.
and he tells her, I need to find an attorney. He he didn't offer her any comfort.
Mhm.
I
Me,
think
me, me.
I think in one of the interviews she actually said he never once told me I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
So Linda confided in the police,
And Linda is her mom.
yes, that Kristil had told her that things were bad, going bad, and her mother had also said that she had a very uneasy feeling around him.
Mm.
They were okay in the beginning, but they had been arguing a lot in the last year.
Mhm.
She told her parents they were headed for divorce, but she wanted to stay married until her kids were grown.
Mm.
The youngest was 10 at the time.
So she was willing to stick it out
Mm.
for 10 more years.
I mean, I don't, I maybe not, maybe
Mm.
just old enough to understand
Okay.
what was going on. This didn't work out. And according to Linda, she said nope to waiting. That's a little bit longer of a sentence than I want. And
Mhm.
she said we are definitely going to start looking at getting things on the path of the divorce.
And then they separated, they lived in separate
Hmm.
houses and all that.
No, they were living in the same
I
house.
mean, I'm sorry, they were living separately in the same
Yes,
house. Like, she
yes.
was sleeping on the couch, things like
Right.
that.
So now at this point, Christine's family starts describing him how they know him, okay, which is like a little know-it-all.
Can you imagine, like,
Yeah,
trying to
I
have a
feel like we
conversation and then that person is, like, constantly correcting you and you're like, "Bitch, I know.
feel like we know people like that. Feel
Hello."
like people that we know that have dated people like that.
Ugh.
Um, I mean, am I married to that? No, I'm just kidding. A little bit. No. Um, they always had to be they said that he always had to be the smartest guy in the room,
Mm,
but he was arrogant. They also mentioned that Christine had mentioned that Dan wasn't taking the stalker seriously. Maybe
hmm,
he was upset that she was taking it so seriously. I don't know.
mhm,
Um, Now we hear about the picture. Okay, so there's a picture that the stalker apparently took of Dan.
mhm,
And I'm sorry, like this just starts to make it make more sense
mhm,
for the bad way.
mhm.
Why would a stalker take pictures of your husband?
I feel like
Like, it's so narcissistical.
yeah, I
Hmm,
feel like
I like that for us.
narcissistical.
I love
I
it.
feel like in general, stalkers don't try they're cowards, right? They're hiding behind things. So they're not going to try and engage a man if they are a man. They're looking at the woman as someone who can't protect herself and this and that.
Right.
In there. So why would he like insinuate that he could hurt Dan?
And again, so the stalker threatens her husband in one text, takes a picture of her husband in another. And then like, at this point, I'd be like, "Who are you stalking? Like, are you stalking me or are you stalking my husband?"
Right?
Because I would get the text message and be like, "Hang on, this is for you, Dan." Like, and just hand him the phone because at that point, I'd be like, "He's definitely not stalking me because he ain't got one picture of me."
Yeah.
And did he have any of her?
No.
It was all of Dan.
Yeah, and then he would make mention of like, "Oh, I saw your car. I saw this," like,
Mhm.
but there were never any pictures of Kristil. You're right,
Oh,
there weren't.
gross.
So now we find out that there was a burner phone that was used to send these texts, and it was purchased at a Walmart with a gift card registered to Dan Krug.
Mm,
This motherfucker got a
mm-mm,
vanilla gift card
mm.
and registered it with his own name and then
So
bought the burner phone with it.
so not the smartest guy in the room?
I'm gonna
Or I mean, I don't even know about all of that. And then wait, because I'm curious now. How did they again, how did part of me wants to be very critical of the police.
Yeah,
How did we not know this? Because this was a gift card.
they could have done that anytime.
I just
I don't
feel
know.
like, and the police officer does say in the interviews, this is a case that will haunt me forever. It's haunted me
Yeah.
since. And so I get it. No one's perfect. And to be everyone makes mistakes in a job where that mistake means this.
Mhm.
That's the stress that I'll never
Yeah.
understand, right? I don't have a job that makes
Yeah.
me that. So I can't say
So,
I would never do that job. So thank him for doing that job, but also like you're not allowed to be wrong this way.
yeah,
I
so,
don't
like,
know.
in my day-to-day, like, I meet a 21-year-old person who is complaining of bright red rectal bleeding when they go to the bathroom.
Mhm.
Is it likely that that 20-year-old person or 21-year-old person has cancer? No. Am I not going to order the colonoscopy? Fuck no. If they make it all the way to a specialist with that complaint, I'm ordering the colonoscopy because I don't want to be the person who misses something like that. The youngest person I ever had diagnosed with colorectal cancer was 19. 19. So I know it can happen. It's one in a fucking million, but I'm not going to be that person.
All right.
I
So
get that. That cop will remember this
I
case
know.
forever.
I
He will
know.
never walk away from a stalking
I know.
case. He is forever changed.
So let's just take a minute and talk about the cameras.
The
The
cameras.
cameras in the
The
house, at the
so many
house.
cameras.
I have all the cameras.
So many
I get her
cameras.
camera thing. Like,
Mm.
yes, get all of the cameras.
So one camera had
Mhm.
painter's tape on it. That was the
Yes.
one at the front door.
Painter's tape on it.
Just blue painter's tape.
Mhm.
The other 3 cameras were turned off, all except the
Excuse me.
one that shows him leaving.
That's a very important one to leave on,
Indeed.
okay? Because you wanna make sure that you have
So
video
you're being
footprints
seen
leaving the house.
leaving.
Oh, excuse me, leaving the house.
So he gets a text message 30 minutes after he left asking about what time he was going to pick up the kids or whatever the
Uh-huh.
text was.
Mhm.
And then they figure out later he or whoever, somebody put that message to be sent from her phone,
Mhm.
but it was like to send it like a
They
reminder thing.
the police brought in, oh, god damn it, I wish I would've wrote down what he's called, uh,
Forensic
forensic
tech
per
person.
a computer forensic
Yes.
data technician analyst
You know what he was?
forensics.
He was a fucking genius.
He
He solved it all.
he got the computer,
Mm,
he typed so fast
so
with
fast.
so much
He didn't
purpose.
even look at his
He
fingers.
didn't have to look, he looked right at that screen and he was like, not
Mhm.
like me when I angry type and everything is wrong. So there's photos, security photos of Dan walking into work, okay? But the genius gave the police his phone and password, and they found that all of his searches, he had all of the searches about blunt force trauma and how hard to hit someone in the head.
No.
Mhm.
This fucking guy.
So now it goes from stalking to murder, and they are in fact one and the same. So he leaves all the cameras to do what he needs them to do. But then also, sis, wasn't there something where he had claimed that someone turned off the camera because they're like, "Why are the other cameras off?"
The
And
cameras got turned off from Kristil's phone. Kristil was the user because it was only Dan, Kristil, and the oldest daughter
Daughter,
who were
yes.
able to
Okay.
turn the
Okay.
cameras off from their Google app or whatever app they were
Uh,
using. He turned those cameras off using her
okay.
telephone, so it looked like she did it.
Okay. So and to mention, so he turns off the phone or the cameras that he
Mhm,
needs. He's got the evidence that he needs.
mhm.
And just to put a little cherry on the top of how miserable a fucking person this guy is,
Man,
let's
awful.
just remember for 1 second that one of the people he called when he couldn't get in touch with Christine was her mom.
Mm,
Knowing that he was at work,
mhm.
knowing how fast her mom would get there, knowing that there was the potential for her mother to find her the
He
way that he left
he
her.
killed his wife and his children's mother less than 2 weeks before Christmas. He didn't give a shit about his kids. And then he's gonna send her mother, their grandmother,
Yes,
there to find her
to
own
find her own
daughter.
daughter. Yes.
This fucking guy.
And her sister, they were all there
Yeah,
before
everybody
him.
was there, you're
So
right.
he's like, "Well, I don't care who finds her first. If
I
it's the
just can't
police,
find her
I can't find her first
because I killed her.
because I killed her."
Motherfucker.
So, um, he, of course, pleads not guilty to the charges of stalking and murder.
Whatever.
Deanna went to trial in the spring of 2025. I He smiled
I
at her
can't
family
I
when
can't
they
even
entered the
I
courtroom.
can't comprehend.
Did he think maybe that they were there to support, like, when his dad's like, "I can't believe that he smiled at me." Like, "You fucking knucklehead.
I
Do you
can't.
think I'm here to support
I
you?"
don't understand what could have been going
No.
on in this man's
No.
brain.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Alright.
So they also found that the picture that was taken of Dan by the supposed stalker, when they sent it, like he sends it to Christine and he's like, "Is this your husband?" or whatever the fuck it makes her think like he's gonna try to kill her husband.
Mhm.
It was taken in selfie mode.
Selfie mode. They were able to see that.
He took his own fucking picture.
That's because everything is captured. Every data, every piece, everything is captured, and behind it are a bunch of fucking numbers, and those numbers tell people, stuff that we'll never understand.
Mhm.
They decode them.
And this is real CSI. You ready for this?
Tell me.
The blue painter's tape that was on the fucking doorbell,
Could tell me
they
about it.
matched that piece of tape back to the roll. They matched, and then the roll was in the kitchen,
Oh,
in their
God.
house.
So, back to the text. We know that the phone was off at the time of her death, but the text was scheduled to send from her phone.
Do you remember when I tried to do that when we figured this out? And
Mm.
I sent you a text and I was trying to schedule it
Mhm.
and it was like fireworks or whatever the fuck. Do you
Oh my
remember
god,
that?
yes.
My phone's
And I'm like
having a seizure.
I was like, "How did you do that, bro?"
I was just trying to do this. I was like,
I
wait,
love it when
does that actually work?
yeah, when Trina sends me text messages, the background is all flowery and treesies.
I'm gonna
And I
need to
was like,
learn. I'm gonna need to
"Wow."
learn how to
And
use
she's
my
like, "You
phone.
know, you can do that, stupid, right?" I'm like, "Why don't you stop calling people names, Trina?"
Put the
No,
doobie down, Trina.
stupid's not a good word, Trina.
Whatever.
Dum dum.
Okay. Now during the trial, they
Mhm.
find this out.
Mhm.
There's an
There
ex-girlfriend.
always is.
She
There
dated
always
him
is.
20 years ago.
So long ago.
He stalked her
Because he loves stalking.
because he's this guy. He's this guy when you tell him you don't want to be with him, then he acts a fucking fool. He's this guy.
Yeah, he doesn't like rejection, I guess.
So she received messages from people that apparently he created, email and then emailed to her to stay with Dan.
Oh god.
There was a pattern.
Ugh,
He was
Christ.
living in Sim City and creating a whole community of people to stalk people.
He
What the
did.
fuck?
He was inventing his own little community of people.
It was unbelievable. He did the same thing. He created like
Well,
emails at some college that he was at. He
anybody
sent
can
them to
create
her.
an email. Like anyone can create any email they want as long as it's not taken.
Unbelievable.
So he got a taste of stalking and he
Mhm.
was like, I actually was pretty good at this back in
Mhm.
my college days.
Mm.
So I think I'm going to amp it up, murder my wife, murder my children's mother, and blame it all on this ex-boyfriend who, wasn't even there. And that's another thing. You were willing to send someone who you don't even know to jail. Like
Yeah.
you're like Well, fuck it. If they get him, they get him. No,
Yeah.
they don't. There's no getting him. He didn't do
Can
anything.
you imagine if that guy, Anthony, didn't have that fucking Kohl's receipt?
I cannot.
The other thing was he was in his car or his sister's
Well,
car. His sister took a picture of the two of them, so there's a timestamp and a location stamp on it, and then sent it to somebody. So one of the days that
mhm,
supposedly the stalker was in Colorado,
mhm.
following her, taking the selfie picture, like some one of those instances, they could prove with a timestamp and a location stamp that Anthony was in another state.
So I also,
What if he didn't have
I
those
think he
things?
also had some work records
Yeah, that too.
for like when pictures would have been
Yeah,
taken or when she was at a dentist appointment where he's like, I couldn't have
I
been there
saw
because
your
I was,
car.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
at
yeah.
work that. So, and
And
they said that, what is it? Dan tried to say, or they said stalkers don't have other people stalk for them. That's
mm,
part of the like, then there's no point. Then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's not me stalking you.
But I'm gonna say Dan's not the smartest guy in the room. I'm
No.
gonna say you're not. You're
No,
not, Rob.
buddy, no. You got some work to do.
So 7 days of
So okay,
there's no
yes.
DNA technically.
Yes.
There
What's
was no
missing?
blood on his
Mhm.
clothing that they took that
Well,
day.
we can figure that one out.
Mm.
Mhm.
There was no murder weapon and all of that. So what I remember is there's
Let's
a period of time where he's driving from the house to work and his car and phone stop at somewhere along the road
mhm.
for 5 minutes. They're able to follow it. They say that at that point in the road where the phone was pinging, that there was a construction site of sorts, like building
Mhm.
some big building of some
Mhm.
sort. They searched it all, but they think that he might have disposed of whatever physical evidence, maybe murder weapon, whatever he hit her with at that site. It wouldn't be hard, Lisa. Like, walk across a construction
Right.
site, toss another black plastic bag into a
Right.
dumpster.
100%.
They it
So, here's the other thing I want to mention, like, it's something that we need to remember. He there was she was hit on the back of the head.
She never saw him.
He was already in the house.
He ambushed her.
He She never knew. It was just lights out, and he stabbed her in the heart and she was gone. So there was no defensive wounds. There was nothing because he was in a position
Yeah,
to completely take her by surprise. She never had time to get to her gun because she didn't even know that he was there behind her.
yeah.
Her stinky
Let me
husband.
tell you something. The
I'm like,
minute that she started floating up to heaven and realized what happened, I bet all the way up she's like, "Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, this
she was
motherfucker."
probably so mad.
So mad. So,
Mm,
7 days of
that's how ghosts are
testimony.
made.
I'm telling you, she was
That's,
mad.
that's how that happens.
7 days of testimony and 2 days of deliberation, and
Yeah.
it's a jury case.
Yes, it was a jury case. So that they had seven. So they, yeah, the jury
2 days they
yeah,
deliberated.
they have, I don't even know why they did that much,
I
but
know.
they I feel like 7 days isn't a long time of testimony in a murder, but they also caught him so quick.
They did.
Maybe there wasn't a ton.
I
Okay.
feel like all this happened in the space of 6 weeks.
I
It
give
was
them
something like
credit.
October to
Yeah,
December,
I give them
and then
credit
a couple days.
for deliberating for 2 days even.
So, guilty of murder in the first degree,
Mhm. Boom,
guilty of stalking,
boom,
guilty of impersonating
mm,
another person.
boom.
There were 4 counts. There was something else, and maybe it had something to do with sending the
Mhm,
fraudulent text, like, some cyber
mhm.
something or other. The family has been trying to get new laws passed to provide the police with evidence sooner and quicker when they give companies warrants like
Yeah,
Verizon and things like
yeah.
that. And they're working not just local, but federal legislation as a homicide prevention.
I think that's great.
I think they should. I
Um,
know everyone's worried about their privacy, but goddamn, shouldn't we be worried about
I
people dying?
I don't okay, let me just say to cap this off, Dan is in prison. He's in prison for life.
Yeah.
He is also starting his shit all over again in prison with the communications with his family,
Mm.
right?
So the one that I saw, his
Mhm.
mom is talking to him on the phone and everything's recorded.
Oh, sorry.
And the mom is like, "Oh, we support you. We don't believe this. We know you're innocent, like, blah, blah, blah. But then there was one on the Cold Case?
Uh-huh.
Was it on Cold? I can't remember. No,
You
that was a
tell me.
different one.
Okay.
It was one on the NBC one
Mhm.
where the the
Yes.
brother's like, support
Yes, yeah.
is wavering.
Yes!
And I was like, "Oh, shit.
He like, bro,
Oh, shit."
I mean, so let's say that it's me and you, okay? And I'd be like, "So, sis,
Um,
like,
what?
people know you did it, right?
What?
Like, we're sisters. We were there together in the same womb.
Mm.
Like, people know you did it, right? Like, you have to know this, sis." And then just to have you stare back at me and be like,
Uh-huh.
"You gotta get my kids out of
Get
Colorado."
my kids out of Colorado. Get this fucking guy.
Dude, just
Let it
stop.
go.
Just stop.
Nobody believes you, you
So
dipshit.
at the end of it all,
God.
Kristil is gone. Her children don't have a mother. Her dad is trying to raise them
Mhm.
using the same, introducing them to the same love of cars that he had and that Kristil had. Um, they're trying to pass these laws. He's still in jail forever.
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 True story.
And again, trying to talk his shit about how somebody is out there and did this. Google and Verizon responded that their policies, um, to the policies and the texts, they didn't respond to. Okay, I don't even know what the fuck I just
So
said. Google
Google and
responded to the
Verizon
policies.
were given like the ability to be part of the documentaries and things like that to respond to like why they
Oh.
decided not to do it quicker and this and that.
Mhm.
And they have nothing. So they decided not to silence is golden and they did a do not comment bullshit.
Oh.
Yeah.
So hopefully the laws that they have are that are they're trying to get into place, that something happens with that. And this is the story of the murder of Kristil Krug, a life taken too soon by someone who was supposed to love her and protect her,
Mhm.
or as he says, "I'm doing a shit job protecting my wife."
Whatever.
Shut up.
When Justin told me about this story and I was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" This was fucking wild.
You were the one who told me
Wild.
about this, and I had not even heard of it.
Justin told me about it
Okay.
because he had just been convicted.
Well, yeah,
I
it's
didn't know
only 2025,
I
girl.
didn't know anything that happened when she passed away.
Mhm.
Wild.
Yeah.
That the and when I think when I heard about it, I thought that had been
I
going on
mean,
for years.
he was only sentenced in 2025 was
Yeah.
his trial. It's only been a year
He's got
since.
99 more to go, motherfucker.
Oh,
99 more to
he
go.
does.
I think they gave him 100 years. I don't know.
There's like 100 and then 20 and then
And
20? That
then
one might have been somebody
it was like
else's.
100 years for the first degree murder, and then he got 8 years or
Okay.
something for all of the other little
Okay.
charges. So, good luck.
Okay.
Peace out, homie.
Good. Better. Yeah.
Good luck.
Hope you have fun there.
Good luck with that.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
So yeah, that
This
was a
fucking
rough one.
guy.
Can I just say before we close off, it's really weird sitting next to you and doing this.
Isn't
It feels weird.
it?
It feels different. It's how we started,
It is how we started.
but it's not how we mastered.
No, I feel like we have a bit of a flow down remotely that it's gonna take us a minute to
Mhm.
figure out in person again.
Yeah.
It's kinda weird.
Mhm.
That and we're using all this equipment that we've never used
So
and
much equipment, and I'm
we're, like,
holding my microphone.
we're trying not to move, we're trying not to fidget, we're trying not
I
to do
forgot about all
anything.
that. Remember when I used to fidget in that chair?
Oh my
And
god.
you're like, "Lisa, stop
Creak,
moving."
creak,
Creak, creak,
creak,
creak.
creak.
So yeah, that's
Thanks for listening,
thank you for
everybody.
all of the listens.
We love
We
you.
do love you so, so much.
So roll up your fucking
Roll
windows.
them right up.
Don't park next to vans.
Come on, George, let's go.
Look out for people taking selfies of themselves.
Good God.
Good Lord.
Just don't send it of
Good
yourself.
God.
Stupids.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Executive produced by me, Marie Abenante, and my sister, Lisa Linsner.
Music by John Bartman, track Shooter on the Roof. Cover art by the talented and beautiful Alexis Guerrero.
And all of this is possible editing and recording using Riverside.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.